Hi, Vicki. Hi, Jillon. How are you doing today?
Hey,
Hi, Nathan.
Nathan.
Great to see you. How are
Oh,
you?
I'm doing very well. You guys just look so cozy in your studios, preparing for all the colors on March 26th and 27th. How is all of this preparation going?
Well, from my standpoint, it's been, I've had such a great time working with Vicki. We started choosing the music and getting to know the music, oh gosh, probably a couple months ago. And it's just been fun to have this kind of long span of time before the concert to digest things and work together and be creative with what we want to do with the music.
Well, you have such an eclectic program, which is really going to provide for a really interesting and varied concert. I'm really excited for it. And I wanted to ask you, Vicki, so many of the pieces that you've selected, I suppose, hope this isn't a spoiler alert, actually they weren't composed for the recorder. So what's it like choosing those pieces and then adapting them for what you and your instrument do the best?
Well, first of all, we were inspired by the title, obviously, and so we've been playing with that idea of kind of coloring outside the box and what could we offer to our audiences that isn't this traditional Baroque repertoire. Not that I don't love it, I absolutely love it, but for me, choosing the repertoire for this particular program was really it was so much fun because there's first of all, recorder players steal like it's nobody's business. And what I mean by that is we'll steal all of this violin repertoire from the 17th century, or we'll steal flute repertoire from the 18th century, or I'll steal clarinet repertoire from the 20th century. And first, the main thing is that I have to love the piece, and if I hear it, someone else has played it, or I've been to a concert and I think, oh my God, that's beautiful. I really want to play that piece. And then I'll see if it works. And a lot of times, because the recorder has a much smaller range than a violin or a flute or a clarinet, we have to make some adaptations. So I've chosen flute and guitar, the Entr'acte by Jacques Ibert, which fits absolutely perfectly on the alto recorder. And then I'm playing this amazing sonata by Isabella Leonarda that was intended for violin, but with a couple of little alterations, it works absolutely perfectly on a C-fingered instrument. So yeah, it's really, really fun. And Jillon's a great sport, so she goes along with everything.
Right. I mean, there's what's exciting about this is not only are we getting some real canons of the 18th century music, but there's actually a piece on this program that's not 20th century, but 21st century that was written by John Gordon Hill. And if I'm not, will this actually be the first public performance of this work?
It will. This is the world premiere of Chembaliana, a suite for solo harpsichord. And John Gordon Hill he's a filmmaker, very creative person, wonderful musical entrepreneur, you might say, and a harpsichordist himself. In fact, he's a student of mine. And he's written music for harpsichord before, but this piece is extraordinary because he took the 17th century French suite form and decided to write it staying true to the stylistic restrictions of that, and yet with very modern harmonies from his vast experience with everything from rock music to musical theater, everything in between. And it's just a delightful piece, and was extraordinary for me has been extraordinary for me to work on, because I'm playing these forms that are Baroque forms, and yet with the modern touch of harmony. It's like he's got one foot in the 17th century and one foot in the 21st century.
And Vicki, how do you feel the connection between the 17th and 18th century composers and then 20th century, or music that was composed roughly during our lifetimes? How do you feel like they meet and maybe even complement one another?
I think any art form in any era is a reflection of the time. And so, you know, it's expression of our humanity, isn't it? You know, and so the expressive tools, maybe the harmonic um, patterns or the norms in the 17th century certainly expressed that, just the charge of emotion, you know, we see in the 17th century pieces a lot of, rather than these strict movements divided by names, you know, allegro, andante, largo, whatever, we see these just swooping through composed pieces with various moods.
I think, Vicki, you said something so profound that that music is of the time and of the humanity of the time, and it really brings us to remember that even as much as things change and as much as things stay the same, we all continue to have this thread of humanity that connects all of us in all places and in all times, and is really what makes the performance of music and the listening of music and the experience of art and music just such a important and special and profoundly interesting thing to do. Vicki and Jillon, what a pleasure to chat with you. I won't keep you any more from your practicing. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
Lovely seeing you.
Thank you.